Hello and welcome to SlackerCraft, episode 3. Alright, the beginning part of this is going to be a little bit of an update of some off camera progress that was made. And then I'm going to kind of show off a couple of things that we've accomplished. And so that is going to be the plan for this episode. We've already started talking about, or stuck, placed a claim on where we want our base to be. Alright, so what I did was last video we found some diamonds and we had come across a mine shaft. I spent some time investigating that mine shaft and it was actually pretty big. And so the nice thing is we were able to pick up enough diamonds to actually get some gear going. So we got an axe, diamond pickaxe, axe, shovel, sword, and boots. All right, we have a few more diamonds to make some armor yet, but I don't quite have the enchantments for those yet. So we'll hold off on that. We'll get there soon. So over here, I have a map. And so as you can see, the green dot is where we are. So this is where our little starter base is going to be. Um, we're actually not going to be in the starter base as long as I thought. We made some decent progress with some other things. We're actually going to be moving to where the main base is going to be. A little quicker than I thought. But that's okay. We will come back and do some work over here. What I'm thinking is long term, this area here is some pretty tall hills and mountains. Looks really cool. I'm thinking this is going to be a pure for fun build that's going to happen down the road that we will work on. Over here is you can see a little bit of the Mushroom Island. Um, that's going to be something we're going to try to work with other people on. So I wanted to stay kind of close to that. So I had a couple options. So at first, when I came out here, was this little bit of a plains area was kind of where at first I was going to kind of build the base. Um, but I decided to do something different. When I saw the mountains, I thought about it. I was like, this looks really cool. We could build some interesting things here. But then I thought, it will look cool. It'd be neat to do, but functionality wise, it just isn't going to work out too well. All right. I also considered it because if you follow the water here, there's actually two villages down here. And I was like, maybe we can make use of those two villages and be able to move the villagers up to here easy. And so I considered it, but what happens is there's a player that's down below us who I think is going to want to be able to make use of those villages. So we're going to kind of leave them be. Over here we have an outpost, and then over here we have an outpost. I'm thinking we will take advantage of this outpost out here at some point in time. And then over here, as you can see, we got some snow. We're going to actually build an ice farm out there at some point. So we will have a couple of things out in the distance that we are going to take advantage of. So what I decided was there was a village up here that's nowhere close to anybody. I was like, okay, I went and I actually did some work in that village. So what I did was I collected all the villagers into the center. They're all protected. And I did the trick of dropping a lectern, picking it up, and I was able to actually get a few villagers to trade with. And so that is why if you look at the gear, we actually have Silk Touch and Mending. And so we were actually able to get a villager with Silk Touch and a villager with Mending, dropping the lecterns, picking them up. And so the idea is we are going to use that as our village. And so I was like, well, if we want to get villagers from here to here, that's going to be a bit of a pain. And that's kind of a trek to get between a starter base and a village. So what I decided was we're actually going to put our main base in this desert area here. So the nice thing is I want to completely like flatten out the area we're going to work in. And so this is already relatively flat. So we're actually going to go there, and I've actually done some of that work. And then the nice thing is since we are there, we can build something interesting that's going to be able to go from here to the Mushroom Island. Eventually, we'll get an elytra. We'll just fly back and forth. But I was thinking some sort of underwater um, minecart path, I think would be cool. And we could kind of build things in the water that kind of look neat to make it kind of scenic. That way other players can be like, hey, this looks cool. Let's kind of travel. So that's actually what we're going to do is we're actually going to come up here and then have that be where our base is going to be located. Okay. So what we're going to do is we are going to uh, kind of go look at see what work I've done. Do a time lapse to kind of show some of the flattening that I've done. And then after we look at the base and I talk about what we're going to do there, I'm going to kind of scoot over to the village and then do a little bit of trading to kind of get some emeralds and then show you the progress we've made there. So what we're going to do is we're going to basically flatten this out, and that's where our whole base is going to be located. We're going to try to get as many of our farms and everything kind of built into this one space so that when we're working here, we have as much as stuff loaded as we can. Unfortunately, a few things like an ice farm, messing with an outpost, or eventually a witch farm if we can find one. We'll have a few things we have to travel for, but I'm going to try to fit everything in there as much as possible. All right. The other thing is we did go to the Nether briefly. We did not find a fortress. Basically, we just went to get some soul sand, some magma blocks, and quartz to be able to start doing some redstone. All right, that way we could start building some farms. All right, so what we're going to do is head off to the desert. Okay, so here we go. We have made it to the desert, and as you can see, I've started flattening out the area. I started over there, and I kind of worked my way over. And then what I did was this is what I've managed to flatten out. And so we're going to flatten out the whole desert to this level. And so this spot right here is going to mark the center of the base. So what we have is the load radius, the view distance, or whatever you want to call it, is 10. All right. So what the idea is, I basically am going to from this point, that middle chunk. So I'm going to turn on chunk borders. As you can see, I've marked off the different chunks with the blocks. And so we are going to expand our base basically after this one, 9 chunks in this direction, out this way, and this way. And so we're basically going to build a flat air space that is basically that large. All right. So if we go 9 and 9, it's what, 19 by 19. So we're going to be clearing out a lot of space. All right. So I'm going to turn down, for some reason, the music just gets really loud. Okay. So what we're going to do is that's going to be our center area. Now, if I've marked out a circle, that's going to kind of be where we put our bed, and we're going to kind of store stuff there. Some interesting things with the wandering trader and the heads dropping. That's going to be kind of like our little, show off area. All right. And then what's going to happen here is, as you can see, these sand pillars here, they identify this 3x3 chunk that is basically going to be our storage area. So what's going to happen is along the outside edges of this is where all of our chests are going to go. And then behind it in these chunks here is going to be all of the redstone and everything we need to be able to do the sorting. All right. So this outside layer here is going to be the redstone to do the sorting, and then inside here is where the blocks are going to be. And so this space here is going to be kind of like a workspace. That's going to be where we walk around and get all of our different items. All right. Now, a couple of things we're going to do a little bit different though is this spot right here, we're actually going to have furnaces. So what we're going to do is in this space, we're going to put some furnaces that are basically going to be how we repair our items using experience from furnaces. And then we'll set them up, and then up in the air above the area here, we're going to have sugarcane and cactus farms. And so what that's going to do is that's going to feed in, and we're basically going to store up experience, and then that way we can repair our items. All right. I've already explored underneath this area and through the caves, and found 2 spider and 1 zombie spawner. And so we will take advantage of those possibly at some point in time. Um, but I'm really hoping to use the furnaces as our main way of gathering experience and then kind of storing it up. All right. And then over here, this space here, this is going to be kind of like our entrance. And so this whole area that's going to be our storage is actually going to be enclosed in some sort of structure. I haven't decided yet what it's going to look like, but that's what we're going to aim for. All right. So we've already done a good bit of clearing here. We've already done a good bit of lighting up of the cave system because as you can see, we only got 1 diamond block. We just went caving. And so we got some coal, iron, redstone, some lapis. So we got a good bit of resources here as we are doing some caving. All right. We did have a wandering traveler and we took him out and we actually got some heads already. All right. So as you can see, I have a good bit of sand already built up, a good bit of sandstone and some blocks. So as we clear this out, we're definitely going to get some more resources. All right. So I haven't quite decided what this structure is going to be yet, what it's going to look like, but I do know up in the air above us, we're going to put a mob farm. It's not going to be a specific one like creepers or anything like that. We're going to allow everything to spawn in it because the gunpowder from the creepers will be nice, but the skeletons are going to give us the bones. Zombies will give us rotted flesh. That's one of my things I like trading in to get emeralds. Spiders will give us string. And so we're going to let it build a general mob farm. So one of the future videos will be us building that farm. We'll have to decide once we have the resources when we are ready to do that. But I think I want to figure out how tall that's going to be, where I want to place it with our AFK spot. And that way I can figure out what this interior structure here is going to look like. How tall it's going to be. All right. And so what I'm going to do is you are going to now see a little time lapse of me clearing out some of this. I didn't record all of it. Basically, the area over there that I flattened is what's going to be in the little time lapse video. And then when you come back from that, we will then look at the village. Hopefully I can get there before nighttime. All right, here we go. We have made it to the village. And so what I'm going to do is kind of show you some of the things we've done with the villagers. So using boats, I was able to collect them all into the center area here. So this is where we're kind of keeping them. All right. The nice thing is I did the double high fence like this because if you have the lower fence like this open and these closed, the villagers can't walk out. But if you have them in a boat, you can actually take a boat through the fence and move them. So it's a nice, easy way of relocating the villagers outside of the fenced-in area. So I got a few workstations here. So basically, this is our Fletcher. We traded some sticks with him, not too many, but we did that to be able to get some emeralds. Here we have a mason. We actually went around and picked up a good bit of clay, and he actually served as a good way of getting a good bit of emeralds. That mason. Uh, let's see, we have a second mason here that we traded with to be able to get the clay to get some emeralds. The farmer, we did a little bit of trading. I forgot to bring my carrots with me, but I've been farming a good bit of carrots to be able to get some more emeralds. So we're not going to be able to get any books at this point because I didn't bring any emeralds with me. And let's see, I know there was someone else. The fisherman. The fisherman I traded coal with to be able to get some emeralds. So we've been trading with these a little bit to be able to get some of those items. So as you can see, we got some all kinds of random stuff floating around in here. Hay bales, usually I ignore those in villages, but with the new target blocks coming in 116, I grabbed those. So here's some wood. There's a couple of lecterns and some books. Another wandering trader head. We're going to see how many of those we can collect. So this is where we kind of did some work. We got all the beds moved in. So there's no beds anywhere else in the village. No other workstations other than the trading hall area. And so this is what we have. All right. So what I'm going to do is before I go to the trading area, what I do is I take a villager that has no job, put him in a boat, and we actually come over here. What I did was I converted this building here. I took the door out, and then this is where I actually work on the villagers. They are, if they're in this building, they are far enough away from the middle area in the trading hall that to pick up on any of the workstations that are over there. So what I do is I bring the villager in here, drop the lectern, pick it up, drop it, pick it up, drop it until I got the trade that I wanted, traded with them, and then moved them back over to the trading hall. All right. So the idea is you want to keep those villagers far enough away from the other workstations they don't accidentally pick them up as you're trying to set their profession and their trades. All right. I think it's like 80 blocks. I'm a little bit more than that. I wanted to be safe just in case. So there's the villagers, and then in here is the trading area. And as you can see, I have 6 of them set up. So let's see here. This guy has efficiency 4. This one has silk touch. This one has feather falling 4. This one has unbreaking 3. This one has looting 3 and loyalty 2 because I traded it with him because he's the only one that had paper trade. So I did a good bit of paper trading to get emeralds with him. All the others only have the stupid emerald for bookshelf, which, ugh, I wish some of them had the paper trade come with them. And then this, of course, is the mending. All right. So these are some of the traders that villagers that I've been working on. It took a while to get the mending one. What happened was I would drop it. The silk touch came up first, and I was like, I can't pass that up. So I dragged them over here. Then the feather falling popped up. I was like, I'm gonna have to keep that. And so the mending was actually the last one that I worked on to try to be able to get um, what I wanted. All right. So what we're gonna do is let's see. We've got a cat here that we were able to tame. I think there's another one floating around that I have not worked on trying to catch. Trying to think, do I have any more fish in here that if I even tried? No. So I don't even have any more fish. I ended up using it all. And we got our one iron golem in here who's protecting. He is injured because what happens is the skeletons will get up on that little ledge up there, and then they will actually shoot the golem because he gets over here close enough. I have not gotten around to closing this up, so as you can see, it's closed most of the way. Actually, no, I've closed it all off. Okay, it used to be partially open. I used to not have this top row of fences. All right. So what do we got in here? Anything useful? Right off the bat, composters. We could do another farm. We got some paper. Do we have a book? Books. Do I have emeralds? No. We're gonna need emeralds. And does not look like we really got anything that we can trade to get the emeralds here. I knew I should have brought my carrots. All right. That is unfortunate. That's what happens. And unfortunately, we don't have a quick way to get back to the base. We got carrots here. I am going to pop a few of these and plant them. The farmer doesn't really seem to be doing much with the carrots. I don't know why. All right. So, the tough decision I have to make here is, do I just keep this village as it is for now and then wait until the base gets settled before I want to start breeding villagers and building an iron farm? Because at this point, I only have a few villagers that don't have a profession. So there's a few more books we can get set with our villagers, but I do not know um, how many more I want to do that with before I want to start breeding some more villagers. I could put down some more beds. So the question is, do I wait and then until I get an iron farm and village breeder over there? Or do I build a village breeder here? And if I'm going to do that, I might as well build the iron farm too. But then with the idea of that is eventually at some point I'll end up rebuilding those items back over at the base. Okay. Because these trading hall villagers, I'm eventually going to have to train. There's another cat. There it is. I'm going to have to eventually transport them over there anyway. So it's just a matter of how much of that work do I want to do beforehand. Um, so it all depends. Let's see. What did I have? I had unbreaking, efficiency. I had efficiency. Um, what I really, maybe what I will do is I haven't done the armors yet. Because I think between the efficiency, the silk, the unbreaking, and mending, I'm pretty much happy with the gear, the items that we have. Looting sweep would be nice. I got lucky with books and building up some books to get those. So if we lose that sword, um, having one of those would be nice. Um, but the other thing is we have Featherfall, so that's good. Maybe a protection. Maybe we will do just enough to be able to get protection, just basic protection, so I can get some proc gear and get this converted into diamond armor with protection and then mending. And I think that will just be the one or two more villagers to go over there. So maybe we won't do the breeding in that here. Maybe we will wait till we get over there. I'm thinking that sounds like a plan. And let's go ahead and sleep. Yeah, I think that's what we're going to do. All right. So there we go. So that is our villagers. I'm not going to bore you with trying to get the prot. I'm going to try to do. Wow, do I have. If I get him to get. Maybe I'll get lucky and he has paper. Either that or I'll just run back and grab some emeralds. We'll see what happens. All right, so I am going to collect a boat. I'm not gonna. I'm gonna have to make a boat. I don't know where my. There's got to be a boat in there. You know, 2 chests, and I still can't find anything I want. All right. Well, what we're gonna do is I'm gonna drag a villager over there. I got lecterns, paper, and books, and then hopefully I can pop prot on a villager, and I need to be able to collect one of these without picking up the others. There we go. All right, so I'll show you the little movement over, which is real nice. The other villagers following, because the nice thing is, I come out, I leave, no one can get out, and there we go. And I heard a skeleton. Oh yeah, there's an underground cave right there that I covered up. Also, if you're moving villagers with boats, don't forget to cover up the paths, because if you drop down that little lip, you get stuck, and that is a pain. And so I actually flattened all this the whole way. That way I didn't have to work with any pistons or anything to try to get over here. All right, so here we go. Let's see what the time of day is. Yep, he should be at the point where we can um, get him to pick up a profession and change and so on. All right, here we go. I'm giving up on protection for right now. As you can see, we did move one villager over. That villager that we moved over is right here. Had fire protection 4. Unfortunately, we couldn't get prop 4 to prop. Um, the problem, the thing that was frustrating was I believe there was a fortune 3 came up and I passed up on it. I believe a sweeping edge 3 was there and I passed up on it because I really wanted to get prop 4. And then there was probably 6 or 7 times we got mending, at least 3 or 4 times we got silk touched. And so I think what we're going to do is we're going to call that this video. I'll come back at another time and go through the pain of trying to get prop 4. Um, Unfortunately, though, if sweeping edge 3 or fortune 3 or looting 3 creep up before prop 4, I might keep those instead of trying to go for prop 4. Although I really want it. Maybe we'll just focus on trying to get that from the enchanting table. And so that is going to be it for episode 3. You got some time lapses in there. And you unfortunately got to watch me get frustrated by a villager not giving me the book he was supposed to. So hopefully you enjoyed the video and see you next time.